Okay, students. So we are starting with a new topic for today. One of the other very important lessons which you have in your science too, that is biology part. And the lesson is cell biology and biotechnology. Okay. Now we have completed the lesson on introduction to microbiology, right? So there we have seen how different microorganisms can be useful in so many various ways in different fields like mankind, environment, nature, medical, food, etc. Correct? Now, here, the cell biology and biotechnology, when you see, it is like the first part of the lesson is a small one. The cell biology, when you say, it is about something called cytology. Okay, study of the cells. All of you know very well what you mean by a living cell. Correct? We call it as the basic structural and functional unit of life. You agree with that? We call a living cell as the basic structural and functional unit of life. Correct? So when you say
Yes,
life, it means it can be any living organism, right? It can be from a very microscopic amoeba-like organism to a very huge one. Okay, a complicated one like a human being or a blue whale or a very giant tree, right? So when you say cells, every organism is ultimately made up of cells. Okay. So here, this field that has been included in your syllabus, it is actually a very, very upcoming field. Okay. Like this field depends a lot upon new technologies. Okay. More and more technologies are coming up. And the most important technology among that is the microscopic technology. You know very well that before the microscopes were invented, people were not much aware about something called as a cell or this huge world of microorganisms which you can see only under a microscope at home. Correct? That was not known to people earlier. So when new technology got advanced, we became more and more aware about those things. We were also able to go inside the cell and observe what is there. So we came to know something called nucleus. Inside the nucleus, we have chromatin material made up of chromosomes, DNA, genes, their functioning. Like in that lesson on heredity and evolution, you have seen how exactly the DNA functions by producing proteins. Correct? So that was just one aspect of it you have seen. So something like that we will continue in this lesson also. And we would be discussing about cytology for the first part, okay, where it is nothing but the study of cells, but not exactly the structure of the cells and all. You know very well that cells are basically of two types, that is a prokaryotic cell and a eukaryotic cell. Okay, for your level, just have to remember prokaryotic means a primitive cell and eukaryotic means an advanced cell. Okay, so when you say cytology, it is the study of the different types of cells, its parts, and all the organelles which are present within the cells. So the brain of the cell is the nucleus, which is present in a fluid-like substance which is called as the cytoplasm. And then there are many other organelles present like plastids, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, correct? You can say lysosomes, ribosomes, all these are a part of the cell. So all
endoplasmic reticulum.
correct, very good. Endoplasmic reticulum also, vacuoles also, right? So all these which are present within the cell, when you study them in detail, their location, their structure, their functions, you are studying something called cytology. And the field of cytology is very vast. Okay, and more things are always being discovered because there is an invention of new techniques which are coming up. Okay, lot of sophisticated techniques are available because of which our work has become easier, like microscopy. When you say microscope, it is doesn't necessarily mean that light microscope which you have normally in the laboratory. It has become much more advanced up to electron microscopy also, where you can magnify the specimens even up to 5 lakh, 10 lakh times. You can visualize it in a very broad way. So it has helped our understanding of the cell and its components much better, even the functioning part. Okay, so because of this, okay, where you can call as a research in the field of cell biology, there are many more people who are engaging into this kind of research. Okay, like when you say, see, at your level, you're in 10th standard, all of you, right? So if I ask you what is research, what answer can you give? Tell me your idea about research, whatever you know, whatever you must have heard. Yes, Sundar, research word का meaning क्या बताओ?
Studying a topic in detail.
Okay, Dipali, what about you? What is your answer? Harsha, you can also message if possible. The meaning of the word research. Yes, Dipali?
Studying the topics deeply.
Same answer. Okay. Okay. So why this topic has been introduced at the 10th standard level, this is what you will see. A broad idea. See, research is something too vast, if you say, but for your level to make you understand, when you understand the word research, you can break up the word into two parts. Re means again. Search means to observe, to analyze, to interpret, to come out with something, to decipher, to speculate, okay, based on your observation. So when you say research, okay, studying is always a part of it. But along with that, you apply what you study. That is research. And if I tell you in a more simpler way, research means to find out a solution to a problem. That is research. So for example, in today's situation, many people are suffering from diseases for which there is no cure. People are still trying to find out a cure for it. So that's a problem which the mankind is facing, right? So there are people who are trying to understand the reason behind the disease, how one can control that disease. The latest example, this COVID-19 pandemic. When it started, that was a problem. So many companies came forward, they came across with a solution. Somebody invented the COVID-19 vaccine. And now you can see for the past few days, things are comparatively under control. So that was a research that was done. Getting it? So when you say research, the commonest understanding should be that it is finding out solution to a problem. So one aspect of research is when you work in a laboratory for this kind of cells. That is a research in cytology that people do. Okay, so in the first lesson, heredity, what you studied, transcription, translation, and all which you studied, protein synthesis, that was one part of cytology, which is called molecular biology. This is on a slightly broader sense, that is cytology, where you study about cells. Okay, so if you think practically, if you wish to enter into research field in this one, suppose, so after your 10th, you will complete your 12th. Okay, after 12th, you will take up graduation, or you will go into medical or paramedical or pharmacy or something like that. So you will complete your graduation so that your basic understanding of the topic is clear. Then at the post-graduation level, you can go for research, or you can study more theoretically in the post-graduation level, and after that you can go into research. So later on, when you do PhD is always a research work. It's your own research of minimum 3 to 4 years. So when you talk about research in the field of cell biology, okay, here for such a topic, when research has to be done, there are a lot of infrastructure required, sophisticated instruments, okay, chemicals, glasswares, etc. So for that, the facilities are provided by various research institutes. This is not something you can do out in the field or in the open. For this, you need a proper, well-equipped laboratory. And such laboratories are existing in many research institutes, many universities and colleges also. And this kind of a topic, cell biology, touches upon, see, whenever you pursue research in any field, even if suppose you go into arts and commerce or humanities or something like that, research is done even in that. Research can be for any topic. It is not necessarily that it has to be a laboratory, a well-equipped one, a scientist with a huge beard or something. Aisa nahi hota research. Okay, that is something, a misconception which people generally have. Okay, there are many people who do research out in the field also. They go to different villages, they speak to people, they get information, they analyze that data. That is also research. Getting it? So the most important prerequisite for a research is that you should have a good observation skill. You should observe. And the favorite question of every researcher, especially in science, it is why? Okay, whenever you observe anything, there should be a question in your mind. Why it is like this? Try to find out the answer. That's research for you. So observation, you should read a lot. Okay, read about different types of researches which people have done. See what they have done, what answers, what results they have got. Okay, that is intensive research. So that skill must be developed from this stage itself. Okay, you must read a lot. You must understand. Your concept should be very, very clear. And for doing things practically, your hands-on skills, how to use the particular instrument, it has to be good enough. So for that, there are training courses available. They will teach you how to use this particular microscope or that particular instrument or something. So you can go for those courses. Okay, so that training will be helpful for you. You should have a a good knowledge of even computers and softwares, because that is also applicable over here. Bioinformatics karke ek field hota hai. Okay, so like that you can interrelate the cell biology with many other aspects like cytology, genetics, heredity that we learned, molecular biology, physiology, etc. So interdisciplinary research is always the best. Understood this background, everyone? Okay, so see this.
Yes,
Examples of some research institutes based on this field, based on cell biology across India. You have this one at Pune, National Center for Cell Science, NCCS. You can imagine this one complete building established as a research institute. So there will be so many laboratories, so many researchers, so many courses, and you will get lots of good experience in such institutes. Getting it? So this one you have to remember, that is NCCS at Pune. Okay, then you have NCBS and INSTEM, which is located at Bangalore. See the campus. Okay, there are people engaged in such places. And such research is always, this kind of a campus life in a research institute is something you will never forget if you enter into it. Okay, like whenever possible in life, get such an experience. There will be a lot of learning to happen. Okay, this is always important. This is CCMB, Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology at Hyderabad. So in India, these are just three of the very big examples I'm showing you. Getting it? There are many more all over the country, almost located in every state. Some of the prominent big universities also have very good laboratories, and they offer courses which you can pursue during graduation or after graduation or PhD, or even there are what you can say, something which you can do even after your PhD. Okay, and go for such courses. So such institutes offer you that. So what you can do is, like, now it is too early for this 10th standard, but you should have an idea that this is possible. Research is not something like a rocket science or something कि बहुत बड़े होने के बाद ही लोग research करते हैं या something. No. Getting it? There are students who do at their own level and they come out with really good researches. There are many such research institutes located in other countries also. And nowadays, more and more new research institutes are also coming up. Okay, like when you enter into such institutes at the graduation or post-graduation level, so there are core institutes where if you are academically really good, they offer you stipend also every month. Okay, so it's like every month you will earn if you are a part of the project, a research project. So every month you will get your salary. At the same time, you're doing your research, your course, and you're getting your degree also. Getting it? So such options are also possible. So this is something really very interesting, and government is also supporting, because whenever such institutes are available, you can see the campus, there is funding available. Sorry, funding available. People also get their own salary. They learn a lot. They get a hands-on experience. And whatever you work in this institute, those certificates will always help you a lot in life. So this experience should not be missed. Okay, so find out more about such institutes at your level in the future. Suppose if you are willing to enter into this kind of a field, the only best thing that you can do is log on to the website of each of these institutes, where you will get all the details. The best thing is that you are having internet with you. You can search for anything in the world. So you just have to write NCCS Pune. You will go to the websites, see what kind of courses are applicable, at which stage in the career you can do it, how to go for that course, what are the things you are getting to learn in that course. And those people who are already into the institute in some or the other course, their email IDs will be available. You can directly send an email to them, ki I'm interested in so and so, kindly guide me. There are some people who reply. They love to encourage students. That's how you must explore yourself. Getting it? As far as this career part is concerned, okay, now the situation has drastically changed and there is a cutthroat competition. So one cannot expect after any field that you complete your studies today and tomorrow you are landing it up with a job. Getting it? All those glamorous things which are told, the so and so company will recruit you and all, it is not completely guaranteed anything. Getting it? You have to ultimately carve your own path in whichever field or subject you might go. So especially because at the 10th standard level we are discussing this, so there is a very common question after 10th standard which students come up with, and they are backed by parents and peers and okay, what is the scope in so and so subject? Ye common question aega. Do you think that the question is correct? Yes.
Yes.
What do you mean by the word scope then? Suppose if you are asking a question, what is the scope in cell biology? So what are you exactly trying to ask? Or what is the scope in a medical field? The hidden meaning is, if I take up that field, what kind of job I will get, how much will I earn? That's the question. ये रहता है ना पूछने का तरीका.
Yes.
Yes or no? So do you think that's a correct way to put across? When you're studying something, when you're exploring something, your aim, your objective should not be how much I will earn. I know money is important. In whichever field you will go, of course, you will earn something. But for that, the first criteria should be how much you have the potential. Now, everybody will say medical mein bahut scope hai. But is it possible that everybody can become a doctor? Can everybody become a doctor? Imagine what will happen. The world will be only full of doctors. Yes or no? So that's why when it comes to career, okay, the most important requirement is that you analyze yourself first. Getting it? You analyze yourself, see what are your limitations, your plus points, minus points, everything. See what is the field that fascinates you, that interests you the most, and then go for it so that you can give your 100%. It's a very common logical meaning. When I'm talking about cell biology over here, showing you these research institutes and all, yes, they are good. but again, it is not meant for everybody. Everybody cannot go into all this. But if a wrong person goes to a wrong field in the career, then it's the end of it. And that is something one should avoid. Especially because you all are at the 10th standard level, my only advice is you will be bombarded with too many career options as soon as your board exams will get over, or it may have started also, I suppose. Yes or no? With everybody around you in your social life. बेटा ये कर, इसमें बहुत स्कोप है, बेटा ये पढ़, इसमें बहुत अच्छा जॉब है, मेरे चाचा के मामा के काका के बेटा बेटी को इतना जॉब मिला, he or she is successful now. These are the things you will get to hear. But the most important question which nobody will ask is, what are you interested in? And that should be the first criteria. That's why when it comes to career, you listen to everyone, take advice from everyone, take suggestions, get information, but final decision should be yours. Getting it? The most important conversation that you must have is yourself with yourself. At one point of time, you have to sit with yourself, note down, okay, these are the things I have learned and this is what I like to learn more. इसके बारे में मुझे और ज़्यादा पढ़ना है. Go for it. Getting it? After 5 years, after 10 years, what kind of job scenario will be there? Nobody can predict. कैसे बोल सकते हैं? Getting it? Things will constantly change. Things are very dynamic. No field will ever be able to give you the 1000% guarantee that you take this up and you will end up with a job. It will be foolish to do that. No field. Getting it? Ultimately, the scope, which that we're coming back to that word now, that thing called scope is not in a field. It is within you. Whether you have the scope to enter that field or not, then you select it. Getting it? ऐसे तो medical में भी scope है, pharmacy में भी scope है, engineering में भी scope है. But whether you have the scope to enter that or not. Getting it? You go to a restaurant, the waiter will get your menu card. Do you tell the waiter जिसमें scope है वो खाना लेके आ करके? Do you say that? Or do you tell the waiter whatever you like, you get it? Of course not. Why will the waiter get his choice? Waiter will sit and wait and listen na, कि what do you want to eat, and will take the order accordingly. Career का भी ऐसे ही है. You will have a big menu card in front of you, but you will have to decide what you want to eat and then enjoy that dish. Getting it? So because this topic was there, that's why I have kept this discussion. और ये हर साल में करता हूँ. Getting it? So this is at the 10th standard level. You have to just start thinking like, obviously you cannot, as immediately listening to all this, you cannot decide कि चलो मुझे CCMB Hyderabad join करना है. Getting it? That's a far away option, but at least you can start thinking कि ये science पसंद है क्या, biology पसंद है क्या, cell के बारे में पढ़ना है क्या. Then I can think about it. So go one step at a time. Career का decision ना normally 10th के बाद 11th में क्या, 12th में क्या, then after that what, ऐसे सोचना है. But people generally think about it in a reverse way. 10 years के बाद मुझे ये जॉब करना है तो उसके लिए क्या पढ़ना है, तो 11th में क्या लेना है, ऐसा करके उल्टा डिसीजन लेते. That should be not done. Getting it? And let nobody impose any decision on you about career. Nobody. Getting it? You have the right to select what you want to learn, what you want to pursue, and go for it. Is that clear? That is very important.
Yes.
Okay, ये बहुत ज़्यादा important है, समझना है, ठीक है? Okay, so that was all about the basic idea behind what is the meaning of research, how to enter into this field, what are the different options available in different research institutes, etc. Okay, understood till here, everybody? समझा अच्छी तरह से? ठीक है?